Peter Seidler holds his first preseason spring training press gathering with limited media over there. He gets national headlines. They've written about it in the New York Times. They wrote about it in the Washington Post today. The big story is Major League Baseball's reaction to Peter Seidler's spending spree. Last we checked, the Padre payroll is $251 million. Wow. It takes them just below, when they add in all the other stuff that counts towards salary, just below the $273 million threshold. Peter Seidler started to answer questions, and he responded to all the critics that are out there, or all the people, including the commissioner, asking strange questions, making weird comments about why the Padres are conducting the business the way they are. He started off because he was asked about Manny Machado's pronouncement this past week. He's opting out regardless of what is presented on the table. And Peter Seidler's comment, Machado has earned the right to ask for whatever dollars he wants to ask for. Then he was asked about Fernando Tatis. His response, Tatis has an honor to pay in the relationship with the team, the relationship with the town and its fans. He expects Tatis to be a solid ball player going forward. Top priority, sign the third baseman Manny Machado. He's answered the question about the money spent and is it sustainable. And that was his quote, winning is sustainable in San Diego. Now they kind of admit that they don't have more to give, that this is where they are financially, and they're going to win with what they have, and if they retool, they'll still have money to win. Of course, they're making money as they go through this entire process. Winning in San Diego is sustainable because of what they've invested in, what they're going to get back, and what they think they can build going forward. It's the most unique approach of anybody I've heard in small market baseball to make these kind of comments that this is our blueprint. Please follow us and watch us be successful, and they have been successful in the last couple of years. He did admit that this is not an unlimited group of resources. This is not an unlimited budget. So in essence, I think he's saying the payroll of $251 million is the top it's probably going to be in modern day times with Padre baseball. He also indicated that I don't spend very much time thinking about what other people are thinking about what we're doing. I'm only focused on one thing. And he capped off his press conference by saying, this is not checkbook baseball. Please see me when we win the pennant and we're planning our World Series parade. So he's all in. I think he's a little bit offended with the continued questions from everybody, and he really detests the term checkbook baseball. But he has pushed everything to the front. And the more I thought about this, John, coming over today for our podcast, I'll tell you why the Padres are doing business the way they're doing. Item one, they own the market to themselves. This is unlike virtually every other baseball market. There is no NFL team here. I guess Padre fans should thank the thief in the 19 Spanos for taking the Chargers out of here. So there is no NFL team. There is no NBA team. There is no NHL team. There's a Division I athletic program with marginal success, but it's never really grabbed the community by the shirt collar. They have the market to themselves. So therefore, I think what's transpired in the last group of years since the Chargers left, they've gone out and taken every corporate sponsor the Chargers have had. They've added it to their list of corporate sponsors. This is, as you and I have talked about, this is a melting pot of people from everywhere. A lot of people have been deported from other places that wound up in San Diego, myself included. Hell, even you, Giant fan.
Even me.
So at the end of the day, the Padres have this very lucrative market almost to themselves. You add in the creative genius of past ownership, John Moores, Larry Lucchino, the building of Petco Park, what it's meant to the Gaslamp Quarter, what it's meant to the community, and the fact that they got Red Sox fan and Giant fan and Padre fan and Dodger fan and Cub fan and fans of everywhere that come to these games when their teams are in town playing the Padres, in addition to the Padre longtime fans. They own this market, and they are now decided we're going to take all the revenue we're generating, we're going to pour it into this superstar batting order and real great frontline pitching staff and bullpen, and we're going to win. Maybe it's 100 victories, maybe it's more. Push to try to get to the World Series. And that investment will allow them to sell out the stadium, 3 million fans. That investment will allow them to make a lot of money with all the money that's coming in with all the home games at Petco Park. And that package blueprint will allow them to reinvest going forward, even if they lose Manny Machado or they can't re-sign Juan Soto, et cetera. So it's a fascinating approach to the business plan, and lost out there with all the criticism from Rob Manfred to the national baseball beat writers is the fact that this is such a very different market. Great baseball markets in Chicago, Los Angeles, Yankees, Fenway Park. But this is a market they have to themselves. It's 3.5 million. They have it to themselves. John, it's a long answer. Your response to what Seidler had to say, your response to my assessment of why they are where they are and why they're operating the way they are. Your turn.
So it's funny because maybe the Padres need to go over to the Montezuma Mesa and steal their slogan, one city, one team, right? Because that's what they were pitching over there with the Aztecs. Seidler is incredible. I mean, the guy, when we had Fowler in the driver's seat, it was, he wasn't as aggressive. He was more careful. I think that was during the time when they were paying down a lot of their debt. But now, they're blowing up the model. They're showing the rest of Major League Baseball that a mid-market or even a small market team can be competitive. And I bet you that's why Manfred was kind of chirping about this, because he's probably getting pressure from Dick Monfort, in Denver and all the other smaller market owners that the Padres are making them look bad. The Padres are proving that they can be successful and spend money on the big names. So it's great.
It's great. The other guys in other markets, I thought, for example, Pittsburgh, really small market, small regional franchise, not a ton of people who live across Western Pennsylvania. You're not going to get Pirate fans to cross the border from the state of Ohio. You might draw some out of West Virginia, but Pittsburgh's got to compete against the Steelers and against the Penguins, and an established Pitt Panther football program.
Yeah.
So, that small market is really different than small market San Diego, where, as I said, that guy owns everything in the 619, the 760, and the 858 area code in terms of sponsorships and marketing. This is the most unique set of circumstances, I think, that they're out there at Major League Baseball. So we'll see where it goes. Your reaction to what he said about Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis?
It's awesome. He's doing it the right way. We talked about this before with the Machado contract and the opting out. He has a pecking order. He took care of Joe, and then he took care of you, and now it's time for Manny and Fernando. So he's doing it the right way. I think, it's just so amazing given how, as a Padre fan, we had the Morag guys buying the team on layaway. We had, what was the guy that owned Werner, that had the Roseanne franchise? He had the fire sale, which was just awful. And so now we've suffered so much as Padre fans, and now it's like we're the kings of the world. And there was an article, I think, was it in the Washington Post, about the Padres reimagining the way baseball can be run. And I love this innovation. I think it's tremendous.
Uniqueness of the market has a lot to do with it.
For sure.
Okay,